Welcome to the Spit Bucket Hotel Party.
Thanks for joining us.
And many of us, we deal with stress in different ways.
That was a pity laugh.
Take a little sip of that alcohol. Maybe some of us binge watch a show that we've already watched.
Alright, that's enough.
Take a little sip of that alcohol.
I was trying to think of an alcohol. They were like, I don't fucking know any alcohol names.
Alright, welcome to the Spit Bucket. My name's Omar. I've been sick as shit for a whole ass week now.
Almost 2.
I know, I just realized that I used to be sick for 3 days at a time. And I guess now that I'm 24 and a year away from renting a car, my immune system is shit now. And
A year away from your insurance going down.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have looking forward to. Alright, also joining me at the table, we have Mr. Foreskin himself. It is freshly pierced Alan Mendoza.
I forgot you guys haven't seen it yet.
When'd you pierce?
Hello.
It's not his penis. It's not his penis.
Oh, thank you.
I lost my train of thought. No, it was last Friday. And I went with the same lady who I told you that.
Can you tell? Let's circle around the table and then tell that story because that's fucking funny.
I would have gone back.
Alright, also at the table we have everyone's favorite. For some reason, every new listener really is a fan of Junkyard Jam. Jam, don't clap like that!
That was my ass, baby. My ass. Hell yeah. What's up, all my fans? I'll give you all besitos. Love you.
Alright. That's enough of that.
About that.
What?
Whenever I recommend someone to watch the Spit Bucket, I always give the Jam killing baby bunny stories, and it always sells them. They're like, I gotta listen to this.
It's a good story.
For some reason, anytime anyone is new to the show, they're always just like, yeah, I really like Junkyard Jam. I'm like, what the fuck? You know I'm on this show.
I created this.
What can I say? I'm a sweetheart.
I am Mr. Spit Bucket. Alright, and of course, at the table, you heard his speech at the very beginning, not taking any sips of that alcohol to deal with his stress.
Sir, no,
it is
sir.
Alex Torres.
Hold on.
I like how quiet you got to say hello.
Because I don't know. I'm not good with introductions.
Alright, go to the speech story first or the nose piercing story?
Let's go back to the nose piercing.
Alright, let's go to the nose piercing
I only
story.
threw up in mine.
Well, someone almost threw up in his too.
Yeah. No, I didn't. That's a lie. Well, first of all, I'm not going to give this lady's name. I'm not going to say the place that I went to. I'm just basically going to say after work I went to a tattoo shop to go get my nose pierced because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Any particular reason?
I don't know. Just yeah.
I just wanted to show everyone that I'm a fucking slut.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's your only piercing, though, right?
No, I had my lip pierced basically all throughout high school. I had my ear pierced, and I had a taper in there, and then obviously it closed up, and then I got this nasty ass little ball in my ear.
So I'm gonna bite it off.
No, that's okay. But
So you're used to piercings.
I guess, yeah. So, I go there and she's like, well, I don't really have any of the hoops because that's what I wanted to get. And, I do have some, but they're a little smaller. So just a heads up, I can do the piercing, I can give it a try, but I'm not, guaranteeing that it'll go through or, I'll be able to do it. And I'm like, okay, well, the lady at the front said, that you are the only person here that does piercings. And you've been doing it for, 15, I don't know, she gave me a very high number of years that she's been doing it. So I'm like, I'll trust you. You seem like you know what you're doing.
She's like, you trust me, but I'm telling you, this isn't gonna go through.
I get there and she gets the little.
Have you ever had that spiel before in any other piercings that you've gotten? Has anyone warned you about piercings other than this lady?
No, because the ear, my friend's sister did it, and it was just kind of I was sitting in their living room, and then when I got my lip pierced, it was my 17th birthday party. Or not my birthday party, but it was my birthday. And I went there, and they're like, okay, as long as you got your parents' permission, then we'll do it. And I'm like, all right, cool. So
you brought your mommy?
Yeah, my mommy brought me. She held my hand, and she gave me appy juice. So cute. She gets the little skin marker. We figure out where we want it, and then she basically before she's about to put the needle in, and she's like you're not gonna faint on me, are you? I'm like, no.
What did she see that made her think that you were gonna faint?
I guess she had forgot to ask me before, just because I guess she would handle it a little different, and if I was squeamish or if I couldn't stand the sight of blood or needles.
And which I can't. That's why I can't do for some reason I can do tattoos. I can't do piercings.
Yeah, I can see how you feel that way, because a piercing, it's a lot more suspense, and the tattoo is just more of just kind of dealing with the whole process.
Yeah,
and
I guess
waiting for it
that's
to be
true.
over. Yeah, so
I also, when I did get my leg tattoo, I saw the needles on like the tattoo tray.
yeah.
I'm like, fuck. And then I'm just like, I just don't think about it. But I did see them, and it did freak me out.
She basically was like, okay, so you're not gonna, and she told me a story about how these two, I guess, like, military guys came in, because a lot of tattoo places in the area will tend to like the guys from the Navy base, and one guy was like, nah, like, I ain't gonna pass out, and then he immediately passes out.
How weird.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
Mine ain't shit.
I with tattoos too. Some people pass out during tattoos.
Do they just finish? Like, if they,
I don't know. I don't know what the
I
procedure for
would do
that.
that. If he just passes out, I'm like, well, now he's not going to move.
if he was like squirming and like screaming in pain, and I'm like, well, he's quiet now, I might as well
Yeah.
finish. You
There's
know?
people who get butthole tattoos who end up shitting themselves and passing out.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's always a risk when you get butthole tattoos.
Yeah.
So,
So you were getting your butthole pierced, and then
and then I changed my mind to a nose piercing. Yeah.
Good choice.
So I was like, no, I'll be fine. Like, I had friends who like went to school for nursing, and they practiced like drawing blood for me all the time. And I hear that I have very nice veins for
Yeah.
like getting blood and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ew, I don't like that you pinched your vein. I'll tell you that.
yeah, I mean, I can move them around actually. Like
Ew.
all my knuckle ones, I can move around. Anyway, so she pierces like my nose, and she's like, all right, so far so good. And then like I feel her like kind of ruffling her, not, I guess she's like kind of shuffling her fingers around, like trying to get the piercing like just in the right position in her fingers, and then trying to put it in, and then
she's putting this in by like just the piercing by hand. They don't have like one of the machine
Clickers?
things, or
Like a
no.
clicker thing?
I'm assuming
Yeah.
they do have a machine, but both times when I went, she did it by hand. But I know that when I got my lip pierced, it had the machine where you clipped it onto the end and you just pull it out. But I guess even if she did have that, she didn't have the right size piercing. It was a little smaller than what she said she normally does. So
she's like, "Do you see my sausage fingers? I can't put this through."
she was a
You
very
just gone to Claire's, dog.
she was yeah. I should have
Free piercings at Claire's.
She's a big woman, so her fingers are a little
Thicky bobbies?
They're a little on the sausage side.
A little dense.
Yeah, so I hear her kind of like shuffling and trying to. I've never got my nose pierced before. The ear one was kind of like a backdoor tattoo, I guess.
Uh-huh.
It was like, it wasn't done by anyone professional, other than my lip, and I don't remember that.
You're like, but they got through. So
I just hear her kind of like, not even tell me, but she like kind of like utters it under her voice. She's like, "Oh shit, fuck," and immediately
that's
like
exactly what you want to hear when you're getting
exactly
body modifications.
Yeah.
Nope.
Even a haircut.
It's like, oh, shit.
Oh shit!
So she starts like cursing a little bit, and she's like, "Fuck!" And then I feel her like adjusting the ring in her finger again, and then trying to put it in. And she's like, "Okay, so it's not going through." And I'm sitting there with like, she's got her hand on my nose and like a needle through like the side of it, and I was like, "Okay."
You're talking right onto her
Yeah.
her hand.
So she's like, "I'm gonna try one more time, and then if not, we might have to re-pierce it." I'm like, "Okay." So she can't get it in, obviously. She re-pierces my nose, and it wasn't easier. It's still,
because you had to come back
Yeah.
for this one.
pretty much, and through the same like little open wound that she just made in my nose and stuff. So
she
gets it.
She pre-made a hole.
Yeah. So she gets a needle in the second time, and then she still like can't get the hoop through.
The thing that surprises me is that you went back to the same person.
Yeah.
I would have been like, "Fuck that!"
I would've
They
gone to
clearly
Claire's.
don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Go back to Claire.
Like, I'm going to Claire's, yeah. So she pierces it the second time, and then I'm there, like, my nose is already like completely red and it's starting to swell up, and she's trying to get the hoop through, and she can't do it. And then she starts obviously saying like, "Oh, well, it's because like it's not the right size. Like I don't normally do these. You know, like I'm not making excuses, but she's kind of justifying. Okay, like this is why
Why it's not working?
Yeah. So at this point, my nose just starts bleeding like really, really bad. And she's like, "Oh no, you're bleeding."
like the hole, or actually like in your nose?
No, not a nosebleed, but like the actual hole that she made. I guess she was trying to force the hoop in so hard that I started bleeding, and then she.
How much did this hurt of her trying to force this?
It got numb after like 2 minutes. So like
It was more than 2 minutes to
Yeah.
get a nose piercing.
So like I didn't feel the blood running down my face, and she like
It's
kind of
like soft skin.
Yeah.
Like, how much to this?
Yeah, I started
Rubbery.
bleeding. She covered my face up, and she's like, "Oh, well, the good thing is you're clotting up pretty fast, so like the bleeding didn't last for too
PT
long."
levels are pretty high.
Yeah. So she's like, "All right, well, I can do it a third time, but honestly, like, I'm a little worried that I'm gonna like damage your nerves or whatever." I don't remember what she said, to be
Yeah,
honest.
she said, I'm gonna fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
I don't
so,
want to hurt the heart.
So she's like, and I was like, would it be easier if I just come? And I told her this. I'm like, would it be easier if I just come back like next week or in 2 weeks, and like when you got your right stuff? And she's like, yeah, of course, yeah, I'll have all my stuff ordered by then. I'm putting in the order tonight. Like you can come in. I'll give you a discount. You know, just I was like, all right, cool. And the plan was originally like to never step foot in this place again.
But I had a discount waiting for me.
Yeah.
Discount.
Yeah, so I don't even know how much she was going to charge me to begin with, and honestly, I didn't go back for the discount. I just went back because it's like, all right, well,
But did she give you a discount?
like I said, I don't know.
She
how much
said
it
she
was.
did.
She charged me, I think it was like $30, and I left her like a $20 tip.
That's,
You are far too generous.
that's a generous tip for someone fucking you
Yeah,
know.
so like second time, I guess went a little better. So
So was it
Second
easy?
time you
Did
left
it?
with a piercing, so
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it looks like you have a piercing now, so
Thanks.
it worked out.
Yeah. Well, the shitty thing is, I went there the second time, and she's like, "Yeah, I remember you." And
She's like, "Oh, I had nightmares."
I have some bad news though, because we ran out of the hoops just yesterday, so I have to give you a.
mean.
I was like, "Damn." She's like, "Well, I have studs," and I'm like, "I guess, man." I was like, "I guess."
She didn't save you one because she didn't expect you to come back.
Yeah, I don't think she did. She did seem a little surprised to see me waiting.
She's like,
I
"Oh
know.
fuck."
And the shitty thing is, I think the besides her not getting it the first time, and I understand, you know, if she's not used to doing it with that size, the first time she's like, "Oh yeah, she's just eating a sandwich, so you just wait in the waiting area, and she'll be like 5-10 minutes."
She comes with mayonnaise on her fingers.
No, so basically she came out like 30 minutes later, and I'm like, man, there's like,
You're like, "How big of a sandwich was it?"
she was like growing all her ingredients and shit for her sandwich. So like the second time, she's like, "Oh, she just went out to go drop something off at the mailbox down the street. She'll be back any second." And I waited for 40
What
fucking
the
minutes.
fuck?
Yeah. So I was like, man, if there wasn't like standstill traffic outside, because it was near a highway, and I was like, yeah, like if this traffic wasn't that bad, I would just leave. But I might as well have just waited for the traffic to go down.
Damn.
So
So if you're in the area, I'm pretty sure you could have figured out with all those clues
stay away from
exactly
this place.
what place this was.
Stay-
I'll call this place out. I don't give a frick.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm really sick. But that's actually where I got my first tattoo. The person who did it, though, is cool. But I guess the shop itself is
Oh.
kind of...
No,
I know
actually,
where it is now.
the tattoo place, yeah, because I got a tattoo there before. Yeah, because other than the piercing, I actually went there like I want to say like early last year and got like the tattoo that's on my hip, and it was all right.
You got a tattoo on your hip?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's like a pair of lips.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, you are a slut.
I am a slut.
I love that.
All right.
The only
My
image
shit's
I got
fucked
out of
up.
all that was the butt piercing, but having like a bell. So every time you shit, it's like ding. It's like
Every time it comes out.
every time it's ding
You
ding
get
ding.
that little that little space right above your butthole, like that little,
Like your tailbone?
not the tailbone,
Right
but
under
there's
the
like
cactus.
that little soft spot.
What the
you know?
fuck are you talking
So,
about?
so you
You
got your
like-
cheeks, right? And then you have your bungle hole. Right above that, the little crevice leading into the bungle hole,
Uh-huh.
there's like a little divot. And
Dude,
I
you-
know because I could put my thumb in it, Omar. And you could get that pierced because that's just like soft skin.
But do people get that pierced?
I don't know, I'm asking.
That's where do you think they put tails?
I have never heard of this spot before ever.
Look, next time, when you're by yourself,
Okay.
you can probably even just feel it right now. Like the very end of your butt crack before you,
So,
Or-
between your tailbone and your butthole.
there's that space.
All right, everyone.
Like I'm
if you're,
touching it
if
right
you're
now.
You're
true,
alone right now.
If you're a true Spit Bucket fan,
And alone.
and alone, I assume if you're listening to the show, you're already naked
And alone.
and alone. So go ahead and
Send us your nudes.
yeah, send us pictures of your balls, and we'll open those on the show, and we'll review your balls.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
You can send them at
Expensive? No, expensive pasta pod at
She almost-
gmail.com.
She almost gave out her personal one.
Yeah, not mine. She's gonna get my personal one out.
Just, I hope that work emo came in. Ass.
or
Here.
at Dwight's Lil Nose at gmail.com.
That's Jam's junk mail.
Yeah.
So if you want to send your balls to Junkyard Jam, go ahead and send them there.
Actually, please.
Please.
All right. Speaking of square asses, Alex, what the fuck has been going on with you this week? And tell us about your speech and why you look like one of those people from jail where they're like those Scared Straight programs. It looks like you were giving people a speech.
You know
That's
who
what
he
I'm
looked like?
aiming
Have you ever seen that meme of like Keanu Reeves like squared up? And there's like
Yeah.
the shorter version.
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
That's how he looks like.
I was squared up version.
So what's going on with there and those pants?
So I don't know. I thought I was looking pretty fly
Where'd you buy those pants?
for a white guy. H&M. It's the only place I've been going to. And I had to go give a speech about what I value the most. And
Okay.
it was video games.
Oh God.
I could feel like when I told Janet that she was really disappointed. Like, she's
I'm
so
disappointed.
It's not me.
Same here. Yeah.
That's funny.
And I forgot to wear my coat too. I brought my coat in and everything to look 100%.
Oh,
but I was
Wait, were you
about that
suppo-
whole
were you-
outfit, right?
yeah.
Were
the
you
coat.
supposed to dress up, or
Yeah.
you just wanted to
No,
flex
you
on
were
everyone?
supposed to. You had to do business casual, but instead of doing business casual, I went
Business
like
formal?
fuck you casual. You know, like I wanted everyone to feel bad. And then it was working until I went up there, and then I thought everything was good. And you know, if you look at it, my top button is unbuttoned, so it literally looks like I'm just like one of those like Peru sex dudes, whatever. Just like,
All
just
you're
like
missing was your little gold chain.
yeah, like, or
Yeah.
hair. If I only had hair.
Yeah.
And then I forgot my coat, and then I guess my ass looks like a rectangle. Just walking.
But you
up
didn't
there.
know that until you got
Until
there.
yeah, and then until I watched the video that he made us watch, and then I said like a million times, so I look stupid as fuck. It was just horrible.
And you were sweating a lot.
I was sweating. Now that I'm older, instead of like normal sweats, I feel like if a faucet turns on,
And you're just dripping
and I'm just
sweat.
dripping down my sides.
Yeah, I'm realizing like a bunch of stuff has changed now that I'm a little older.
Yeah,
Like I don't take good poops anymore.
yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know if I can
shit.
change that though.
That's right. I forgot your poop shit.
Yeah, I have horrible poops now.
I've actually been pooping pretty good.
Well,
That's
isn't
good.
that nice?
I'm almost some days twice a day.
Wow,
How about that?
Supposed to be 6 times a day.
it's normal to do 6 times a day.
Yeah.
Speaking again of asses, Jam, you got a story for us that happened?
So earlier, I'm over here minding my own business. I tell this boy, don't come in because I'm changing my shirt and his family was upstairs. This boy comes in, I'm standing by the mirror.
I walk in like Kramer.
Oh, I love it.
He walks in on me shirtless and then he's like, he's like,
What did he say?
he's like, Mommy, can you change my diaper? And then he turns around and his butt just looks crumpled up. So I touch it and it's just a plastic bag. And it's this shirt I've been waiting for in the mail for like the past month. Mommy, can you change my diaper?
That's the shit that goes on in
But
my
I'm
household.
over here like I'm trying to cover myself up because you walked in so all of a sudden I thought it was one of your sisters. And so I'm over here.
They would have seen everything if they just opened that door.
And then you're like, Mommy, can you change my diaper? You give me that look over the shoulder.
And then I just had a package ready to be delivered. All right, speaking of delivering packages and driving and shit like that, let's jump into some fucking news. So I got yeah, we're 19 minutes in.
No, I'm talking about past episodes we haven't been bringing up news stories.
Oh yeah, normally on the Spit Bucket. Fuck, what the fuck was...
Buckets.
Normally on the Spit Bucket, we talk about news and shit like that. So I got a news story for us. Texas man drives 530 miles to Lincoln, Nebraska to prevent from getting scammed. And is scammed anyway.
Happens to the best of us. Y'all ever been scammed?
Yes.
Yeah, by fucking carnies. We talk about that on the show.
remember
There's there's an episode way back where I got scammed by carnies, so fuck carnies still. What about you guys?
Yeah, fuck them.
eBay.
eBay, what'd you do?
I bought a Wonder Woman issue 1 CGC 9.8 comic book for $30. And when I ordered it the same day I sent it, someone hacked. Oh, I guess it's hacked. Someone hacked my account and changed the address to their house.
Really?
So I literally waited for so long, and then it never came, and it said it was delivered. And then apparently the address was changed, and I called eBay to tell them, like, I don't live in fucking... it was like 10 hours away. And he's like, but you changed it, and it was my IP. So someone literally just hacked into my stuff and stole my thing.
What if it
For
was
a 30
Well, the thing was $30, but if you look at it now, that's like a $5,000 comic. It was like an idiot selling like, oh, I have a comic, let me just throw it out there, and then I got it out of luck. But then someone probably wanted it more, and then they hacked my account.
Wow.
Yeah, so fuck
Man.
eBay.
That's why you don't bet on like nerd shit, because
Yeah.
those
I
nerds
do.
will fucking get after you.
Man, the
All
Russians are invading our government and taking our comic books.
Yeah. Fuck Russians and eBay.
You know, I ordered some shoes online like a month ago, and I think that actually might have happened. Like as you're describing that, because like I got the notifications on my phone. It's like, oh, it's departed this place. Oh, it arrived here, and it was in Elk Grove and then Palatine, and then for some reason it got redirected to Texas.
Yeah, I was,
What
you know, I was
the
about to
fuck?
say
You're like,
Texas
I
for
could have
some
picked it
reason.
up from Palatine.
And I was like, what is going on? And then it said it got sent back to Illinois, like in Elk Grove, and then it went back to Texas, and now like I haven't heard anything for like a week. So
What
I
kind
think
of shoes were they?
it was work shoes. I mean, they weren't that expensive. They were like
Air
45
Force.
bucks.
It was like the white Air Force ones.
Air
No,
Force
it
One.
was,
The
um,
black one.
It's because you like I work in a factory, so like I have these like work boots, and they're all like super janky, and it's kind of like, you know how Eric kept his Vans for so long, like in such bad shape. Like that's what I'm doing with my work shoes, but now like they're starting to smell, and I'm like I might get some
Yeah,
new shoes. So,
with work shoes, I would always do the same thing. I had those Converse non-slips,
yeah,
and then I wore them down until like my foot was on the ground.
pretty much because it has no tread on it. Like the steel toe both steel toes are completely exposed. Like I can't tell you like how many times I'm taking a whiz and then like a little drip gets on the shoe. I'm like, yeah, whatever. it's whatever. So I don't know if you've ever seen it on Facebook, but they have like those indestructible shoes, and they'll take like a circular saw and they'll go
Oh
at
yeah.
it.
What?
I've seen
I got
those.
one of those.
Okay.
Man, our ads are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't get those ads.
So it's literally like someone poured hot coffee on their foot, and I'm like, I can't feel a thing. And he took a circular saw, and he can't cut through it.
And
He,
he shot
he got
his
run
foot?
over, and he shot his foot. Yeah.
Damn, I miss Billy Mays.
What?
Yeah. So
I, mean,
I
when
got a
he
pair
shot
of
his
those.
foot, he did shoot his foot.
What?
It went through the shoe.
They're not going to show that part.
I remember my parents were freshly new to this country. They were at the Aldi here in Waukegan. And,
Don't tell them where we're at.
hey.
We're recording this from Aldi.
Wakanda.
And there was this African-American gentleman who was offering, like, stereos or a camcorder from the back of his truck.
Nice.
And he was like, hey, I have a couple of these things. I'll sell it to you. My parents not really knowing English at the time and, you know, new here and vulnerable. They were like, yeah, we'll take one. Like, he took a camera out of the box and he was like, here, showing them all this stuff. He puts it back in the box, but I guess he did like a sleight of hand where he switched boxes. And he gave my parents the box after they had already like handed him the money. And they were like, cool. They take it home. So, well, there's fucking glass in there.
Just broken glass.
Broken glass.
He did the
yeah.
old switcheroo.
Yep.
Damn, that's some Indiana
It
Jones
was like
type
broken glass and just like garbage.
It's like,
in it.
oh, we have to build it.
shit. He swapped it
It's
out.
a build your own camera.
Build your own camera.
Fucking swindled.
All right.
But also, there's this cute phone case that's been in the mail for like 2 years now.
That you still haven't gotten?
It says it's en route.
Someday.
But to be
And
fair,
then-
you've moved like 6 times.
No, this was 2016 when I was living at my aunt's house. So it was set to that address. People
still live
fucking
there.
live there. And they could have given it to me, but it just says, would you like to purchase again? I'm like, no, I never got it. It's only like $6, but still, it was really cute.
Damn. Well, you get what you pay for. So, a man is out $65 and a ton of gas after driving all the way from Texas to meet a woman that he met on social media, only to find out that the whole setup was a scam. I feel like this happens to a lot of older people on social media. Like, they're brand new to the internet,
They don't know yet.
and they don't know any better.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts.
But, alright, so, Officer Angela Sands says that a Texan man told Lincoln, Nebraska police that a woman that he met through social media app Hangouts tried to convince him to buy her an Amazon gift card. He grew concerned that it might be a scam, so he decided that he would drive all the way up to Lincoln, Nebraska, and see the woman in person first before giving her the gift card. The man traveled roughly 530 miles.
Oh.
So how much gas money is that?
Well, for starters, gas is cheaper down there.
In Texas?
Texas. But depends what he drives.
Yeah.
Probably a truck.
Probably a giant truck.
So, a lot still.
A lot more than $65. So the man traveled roughly 530 miles from Stinton? Fuck, whatever. Texas.
Dicks.
It's all the same. It's a Lincoln address provided by the woman on the app. Once he messaged her, she said that she was at this specific address and that she would let him inside and she would agree to have sex with him only if he sent a picture of the Amazon gift card and the scratched off number so she can use it.
God.
So he said, show me the gift card and the code on it,
What's going on here?
and you can come over and I'll have sex with you for this $65 gift card. So he said, I want to get my willy wet. And then the victim followed through. He went to the address,
The victim.
and there was no woman there at all. The woman proceeded to block the victim on the app and use the money on the card.
I love that.
Oh my god, so he
I
still got
fucking
fucked
love
over
that.
it.
So he drove 530 miles, which is that's like what, an 8-hour drive, maybe something like that, to deliver a $65 gift card, and ended up at the wrong address. So he got
At a certain point, you just gotta cut your losses, man.
yeah that was an expensive blue balling situation. You
That
got
was. Yeah.
Damn.
have you guys ever been blue balled?
Of course.
Yeah.
School,
School,
teachers.
Boy, tell me about it.
Miss Peterson. Where are you at?
She's in a dumpster where she fucking belongs.
So if
How
you
about
go-
Mr. Where you at?
Probably still at the high school.
Did you guys go to Webster?
You can redact that name.
Yeah.
Did you remember Miss Stresso?
Yeah.
Oh, man. We were taller than her
Oh my god.
In middle school?
in middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone was like, damn, Miss Stresso, when are you going to let us take you out? And she's like, and yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, she was.
There was that one story a few years ago of there was a middle school kid whose birthday it was, and then the teacher gave him a strip
Oh,
dance.
striptease,
Yeah, it was like a strip tease.
She got arrested.
She got arrested.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
But can you imagine? It's your birthday and your fucking teacher starts giving you a lap dance.
There was this one guy my senior year. This is a little off topic, but not too off topic. He used to always be like, damn, when you gonna let me smash?
To who?
To me!
What?
Teacher said that?
No, this guy.
Okay, damn.
And he's getting married now.
Oh.
He was persistent.
You should like show up at his wedding, like, oh damn, like today was the day, and like, all right,
Yeah,
never
today
mind.
was the day I was gonna let you smash, but I mean, you already got your bitch, I guess.
I'm sure it's fake because it's on Facebook, you know. But someone for some reason invited their ex, and on their RSVP they had like a song that they could recommend, and they recommended the song "I Loved Her First
Oh god.
at his ex's wedding.
Oh.
But I thought that was kind of funny. All right,
It would take 8 hours, 49 minutes, and 59 seconds if he drove consistently for 60 miles per hour.
oh
And
shit,
that's just one way? That's like not even
Yeah,
the
that's
front
one
back?
Just
way.
going that one, yeah, and going that
Oh,
one direction.
Yikes.
yeah.
That's fucked.
With $65 is a very specific amount of money to ask for. It's like when people have you had it happen where you're at like a bus station or a train stop for some reason, and then they're like, I just need like $13.42 to get home.
Yeah, someone asked me like for some money, like when I was outside of Little Caesars, and I was just sitting there, like it was on my lunch break. I had the little $5, and he's like, "Hey man, I just need like $3.42." And I'm like, I don't have that. And she's like, no, come on, man. Like,
He's like, I know you have $5.
I see some coins like right there, and I had like 8 cents like on my little like little cup holder, whatever it is, and I'm like, yeah, like you need to get the fuck away from my car, dude, because you're starting to piss me off. And he's like, all right, yeah, and he started getting like mad, and he's like, all right, man, whatever, and he just like, and he had like regular clothes. He wasn't like a real bum. Like,
Yeah.
he had like, it looked like he was just on his break too.
Yeah, for some. From Little Caesars.
Yeah, bro,
You
yeah.
worked at Little Caesars.
Maybe.
That's the thing about going to that plaza, man. There used to be for a while a guy who would hang out there. He would be in like one of those wheelchairs that was like controlled, but he was just missing a leg. And he had like a big white beard. He had an American flag on his wheelchair. And he would just sit out there.
That guy would try to kill himself a lot, like in the street.
Oh yeah, dude.
There was multiple. I haven't seen him in a while, so he might have
I haven't
succeeded.
seen him in a long ass
Yeah.
time. He might have finally did it.
Yeah, he used to just drive out because he had a little motor vehicle, so he would try to drive out in front of
Into the
cars,
car,
and
yeah.
cars would always see him, and then there would just be a line of traffic, and then him just trying to get hit.
Yeah, because he's super slow.
Yeah, yeah, the
So it's
thing
like,
is really slow.
Look out, here he comes.
Yeah, yeah.
Wild.
But that happened to me and Jam once too. We were at the hospital. And then some guy came up to us with his fucking little kid. He's like, I just need like $4.22 to get home.
Yeah, I remember that. And I think I gave him a $5 bill.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell you like in front of him. I'm like, don't give him any money.
Look, I knew I shouldn't have, but he had his kid.
You should have given the kid the $5, not the older guy.
Give him the $5 and tell him to run.
But still, I felt bad.
Get on a
man.
bus
I
and
felt
leave.
bad.
Yeah.
And because they said that they needed like the extra money to complete for like the train ticket to get both of them home. And I'm like,
Watch,
Man.
like, they actually did need it, and you guys are just pieces of shit.
hey, I gave the money.
He
Okay.
she gave the money. There was another.
Like, every day, like, just, God bless whoever that woman
swear to
was.
God.
That's what you hope for, right?
Yeah, but he's probably drink.
Yeah.
He probably died, too.
That wasn't even his kid. He went to take it back to wherever he got it from.
Yeah.
But there was a few, maybe like 2-3 years ago, where my mom was about to get big time scammed. I told this story on a different podcast.
About her, like, her relative that was calling her, like, oh, I hit a handicapped kid, like, on the way over here.
Yeah. So for those who haven't listened to
Give them the
Expensive Pasta,
TLDR.
what happened was my mom just got a random phone call in Spanish, and for some reason Hispanics trust Hispanics a lot more than anyone else in
And
the
they all
world.
sound the same.
Yeah, the guy answers the phone, and then my mom was like, hello, in Spanish. And then he's like, hey, it's your cousin. And then he said, guess who? And then she guessed one, and he's like,
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, that one. Well, because he told her, guess what my name is. And then she
Got
said
him.
a name. He's like, yeah, that's fucking me.
And then your mom was like, oh my God, I haven't talked to you in such a long time.
Yeah, and this is her cousin from California.
I like this.
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna try
asked.
that.
Yeah, it worked because she just fed him everything that he needed to know. So she said something about like, how is it in California? He's like, oh, it's real good out here.
It's good. It's hot.
It's nice and hot.
Weather in California. It's 89 degrees.
Then he said, I'm on my way to visit you right fucking now. So what's your address? And then she gave him our address to
Thank
our
goodness you
house.
don't live there anymore.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay, I'm on my way, so I'll see you in like a day or two. Yeah, so then he's like, he's at a computer, just typing it out. And then then she tells my dad about it. I didn't hear about this until after the whole situation was over. And my dad's like, why would he just call and tell you that he's coming, like, for no reason? Like, he doesn't even know if you can take him in. Like, why? And then she's like, no, I just haven't talked to him in a really long time. And his sister lives over here, so she's just like, he's going to come visit her, or stay with her or something. The next day, the guy calls, and then he says something about how he got in a car accident in Iowa, and that he hit some handicapped person, and he just needs money to pay that so then he can come. And then my mom, like, freaks out, and she's about to go to the bank to wire him money. And then on the way to the bank, because there was just a lot of traffic, so she had time to think about it. She's like, wait, I don't even know if this is my fucking cousin. So then the guy calls back, and then she's like, hey, so let me talk to my aunt who he's supposedly with. And then he's like, oh, she can't talk right now. She's talking to the handicapped kid that I hit. She's like, well, let me ask you a question about, like, specifically me. And he's like, I can't believe you're questioning who I am.
Yeah. It's me.
We're supposed to be family. And then, she's like, this isn't you. And then the guy hangs up and, like, he never talks back or, like, answers the phone ever again. So she was on the way to the bank to send someone she doesn't know money. It was like $4,000 that the guy asked for.
I remember I was at the house when your mom came home, like, after she, like, had a clear headspace or something. And your dad was home, too. And she just, like, started crying because she's like, I can't believe I almost fell for that.
Yeah, so scams are out there.
Yeah, they tried to do it to my parents, because I remember I told my parents, like, this past week, actually, that story about your mom. And,
Really?
and my dad was like, yeah, mijo, they do that shit all the time. Like,
Yeah.
like they did that to me once, and he knew it was a scam right away. He's like, oh, like, let me speak to Tia Chela, or whatever. And I guess the guy just started.
Wait, do you have a Tia Chela?
Yeah. And but obviously the guy couldn't, like, hand it to her, and he's like just started swearing at my dad in Spanish and hung up the phone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like the Nigerian prince scam, but just like modern Mexican version.
And it was my mom's birthday last week, and we took her out to eat. And I remember she works at Wendy's, and I guess one of her managers called and said, hey, there's someone, like, calling saying that there's a supervisor or a manager in jail, right now for like assaulting a customer. And I guess like the story is someone in the city, like in Chicago, assaulted a manager, assaulted a customer, and then they threw him in jail. And he has no immediate family, so they were calling around stores saying, "Hey, one of you guys need to, bail this guy out."
What the
And
hell?
then like
They
manager
have
was
no
like,
responsibility to do that.
and
Like, we're all part of this.
The
Yeah.
Wendy's family.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna say the
He
business.
said Wendy's.
Oh.
yeah, so basically, I don't know how like it got to the point where the manager in charge was like, "Well, let me call my store supervisor or my store manager to see what she says." And my mom picked up the phone in the middle of dinner and she's like, "What are you doing? Tell that guy like to go fuck himself and like hang up the phone." There's a mass email going around the company saying, "Do not fall for these calls. Here
Yeah.
Shit.
here are specific examples that they're going around," and that was one of them.
Yeah,
And the guy, I guess, was like,
yeah. There was
That's
a
wild.
there-
A scam dedicated to Wendy's employees.
yeah.
Bonkers.
There's a lot of very
Absolutely
specific
bonkers.
shit like that. There's one. It wasn't a scam, but it was a prank of someone who called Burger King, and they were playing it like they were from corporate, and they told them that there's a gas leak, and everyone's gonna die inside, so they have to make sure to break the windows to air out the building. And the employees did it. They threw chairs through the windows and broke
remember that.
every window, and then they called the police and everything. And they're like, "We never sent that out. Like that was just someone who prank called and got them to destroy
I
their
would
building."
fire everyone.
yeah.
Right?
If I was the manager, I'd be like, "You all can leave.
Yeah,
Today's
because
your last day."
the thing is at restaurants, there's no windows that open. So
Yeah, so you're
if you
just
needed
throwing
it to
some
air out the building, you literally had to throw something through the window.
There was something similar to that in McDonald's, I believe, where they were getting orders from somebody. I don't know if it was supposed to be like someone imitating the police or something, but the point is that they somehow managed to get the person that the employees were questioning, like a customer.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And they ended up like almost raping this
Yeah,
girl
he's like,
because they
"What?"
were getting
Clothes off.
orders from.
yeah, they like take her clothes off, make sure she doesn't have blah blah blah, and they would literally rip like her.
Yeah, I heard
What
that.
Yeah.
the
That
fuck?
was an
Yeah.
old one. I remember that
That's
one.
wild.
But you
There-
know, like
there
how
was-
you guys all had close families getting scammed. Janet's aunt got scammed for I think $7,000 or no, $10,000. This guy said that if you pay $10,000 when you go out to your vacation, everything will cost cheaper.
Wait,
and
what?
I don't know. So it's like saying like, let's say you have to buy
It's
a
like
boat.
a travel deal.
Yeah,
or
so like
something?
so like let's say you're like you go on a boat. The boat's $5,000, but if you pay us, that will cost $200. And for some reason, she thought that was an amazing idea.
Well, because
So
I know
she paid $10,000.
I know Bass Pro Shop. If you sit through like one of their
There's
seminars,
the timeshares things, right?
no, like your parents do this thing about going to Disney.
Yeah, so you have to sit through a meeting, and it might be a timeshare thing,
Sounds like it's.
but they have like a hotel that's close to Disney or something, and you could stay there for cheap if you just sit through this meeting.
And then I think they give you like discounts on like
Yeah.
all the park tickets.
But you have to go to the meeting.
But
yeah,
this
and
one,
it's like a couple hours.
this one they just told her to pay $10,000.
Wait,
And
how
so
did she even get in contact with these people?
I don't know. Like I don't know that much, but I know that she did pay the money.
Oh my
And when she went over there, they said they had no idea what she was talking about.
So she ended up
Where'd she
going to the
vacation?
place.
No, she did go. I don't know. She went to like the Caribbeans with her family or something
Oh,
like that.
that's so
Oh
sad.
my
Yeah,
god!
and so when they went over there, they were expecting to have all these amazing deals on stuff. They had plans set up, just to be told that none of that exists, and then they were off all that money. So she literally lost like
Dude.
$10K, and then
plus whatever they ended
plus
up
whatever they did, because they ended up going. It's not like they
Man,
you
that's
like,
why I'm gonna stay broke. So I'd be like, man, this is an amazing deal, but I can't even afford it. So I
I can't even afford the amazing
Man,
deal.
miss, I can't even afford to leave the house.
exactly,
That's fucking wild,
That's
bro.
kind of sad though.
Yeah,
it is really sad.
Not just for her, but I mean for everybody.
For anyone who falls
Because
for
you know there are people who are very gullible.
I remember when I worked at Target, there was this lady. She was getting like these threatening phone calls from the IRS.
Yeah, those are great.
Saying like you need to send me like $500 worth of Target gift cards because this and this, but Target has a limit to how much they can sell in a gift card per person, and I think it was at like maybe $400.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, no, I really need it, but she didn't say like what she needed it for, but she looked kind of frazzled. And then the supervisor for like the front end of like the registers and stuff, she was like, is this in any way a scam. She's like, what do you mean? It's the IRS that's calling. And then she finally gave her explanation.
Oh my god, because the IRS needs Target gift cards.
Exactly. And then that's the whole, they like pulled her into the security office and they're like, that happens, this, and this. And the lady, she had already spent like so-and-so at a Best Buy gift card, so-and-so at like Walmart gift cards. So this
That's
Target
so
one was her
fucked up.
last run.
Let's be real though.
And she was an old lady, an old rich lady.
Target gift cards are worth their weight in gold.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's completely true.
Yeah.
If you're gonna give me gift cards to anything, Target or Amazon.
Yeah.
That's the one.
True.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very true, actually.
But there was also this one kid who scammed KFC, who he would come dressed up, and then he would say that he's like corporate KFC because he had like a name tag and shit. So then he would go into the restaurant and then
Wait,
check
this
out their
happened while
kitchen.
you worked at KFC?
No. This is
Oh.
just it supposedly
Oh.
happened in like South Africa. But he would go through the back and then like look at all the stuff, like had a clipboard, write things down, and then would sample the food. And then so he would come every once in a while, and whenever he would come, they would give him as much food as he wanted. And then later figured out that he didn't work for them at all and was just coming
That's
in.
some shit.
If you just come in with confidence, people won't question you.
Literally.
And a clipboard.
Literally.
And they were saying that he worked at KFC at some point because he knew a lot of stuff about KFC. And it's true. Like, if you know
Your
how
shit.
certain places run, you can completely take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So he pulled like the whole SpongeBob health inspector trick on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes, literally. That's probably what inspired him to do it.
Damn.
No one in South Africa ever watched SpongeBob. I was like, wait a second, I got him.
Wildin'.
He said, "There's no pickles."
So this-
Does anyone else have any other scam stories?
I've got one before I jump into the story that I want to
Let's
tell.
do it. We're 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fine. We have
we
to
have
make
to
up
make up 2 episodes.
for
2
yeah,
episodes. Yeah,
three. No.
3.
I couldn't get past the last episode when you were playing your kazoo thing.
Oh, my stylophone?
Yeah.
You didn't like my stylophone?
It's a great gift, but he played it for like 5 minutes. I'm like,
I
yeah.
know the whole fucking Titanic rendition. I know. It
So-
was, and then he brought out his fucking guitar. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
And then like Gibby tried to like freestyle over it, I think, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off.
This
So-
one happens when I'm not there.
Yeah.
You guys make
That
horrible
literally-
decisions.
We only had 3 people. We always just do the episode if we can get 4 on the show.
He literally said in the intro, like, I need to kill some time. And I was like, oh my
I have
god.
to get enough time for the ads in the video.
Yeah. But he had enough time to
Don't.
squeeze in, this is not a fishing podcast, by the way, for everyone who's like
Fishing.
listening.
I have-
Well, technically that was a scam, right? So let me get to the scam story. So I was working at very dramatic.
It's like soap operas.
I was working at Wendy's and I was a supervisor, the one on Delaney. I guess it doesn't matter now.
You were the supervising supervisor?
Yeah, I was the assistant supervisor to the supervisor. So basically, like every now and then, someone would come in with a fake 20, and it's kind of like it happens. We're supposed to give it like the little like pen
Marker swatch?
marker. Yeah, so I guess when it's busy, they don't really check, and we got hit with one, and then like 2 weeks later, we got hit with one, but then there was almost a week and a half where we got hit with 2 fake 20s every single day.
Really?
And I kept telling these guys
That you
"Dude,
guys would take the 20s.
we would accept it. They'd get like a small Frosty and they'd get like $18 and change. And I kept telling them, I'm like,
the 50-cent Frosties.
you need to be swiping these 20s. I don't care how busy it is. I don't care how long the order takes. You need to do it because this is like they're getting us. We're the only store accepting these now because there was like a mass email.
Oh my god, Delaney, you guys are fucking up.
Like yeah, basically like there was a mass email saying like yeah, keep an eye out for these people because it's a scam. They're getting away with a lot of it, and every store was like catching on to it. But then obviously us, like the employees, didn't really
You
care.
knuckleheads.
Yeah, so I guess after like a week and a half, we had lost almost like $400.
Oh shit.
And I guess out of nowhere it just stopped. And I remember like I want to say the last time I saw them, like I saw right away.
Was it the same people doing it?
Yeah,
Or-
it was the same 2 people. It was a guy and a girl. And I remember catching a fake
Goals.
20, and like as soon as I ran over to the window, like I saw them like speed off without their food or their change or anything. So they knew damn well that I caught them, but I didn't get the license plate number or anything. So I never saw them again after that. And then a week later, I find out that the police impound the car in the Six Flags parking lot.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
with $220,000 worth of fake money.
Holy shit!
Not just 20s.
They were all 20s, hundreds, and 50s. They were all fake,
Yeah.
and they were like in a duffel bag in an abandoned car in Six Flags. And I guess like the people who owned it knew that they were like coming to impound it, so they booked it.
Yeah, there was a mass email that went out. We could talk about the thing that happened to you recently with your 100.
No, I don't really know because I'm gonna get off on like
On an angry tangent.
I'm gonna get very racist real quick. So let's not do that. Let's not do
Someone
that.
handed him a fake 100.
And I almost got into a fight with like 15-year-olds
So that,
and their mom in the middle of North Chicago.
but
And a drunk guy tried to steal my car at the same time.
it was a mess. It was
Yeah.
a mess for him that night. But we got a mass email and it actually happened to us too. When I was working at Potbelly in Northbrook, where a guy would come in and order his food, regular amount of food, and would give you like a 20 for it. It'd only be when it's really busy. And then you'd give him his change, and he's like, I gave you a 50. And then he would like keep talking, and he was like a really, really good talker.
Mm-hmm.
And he would get you to give him change for a larger amount than what he paid. So it actually happened to the manager before I was the manager. So he did the same thing of like, it was like $8 worth of food. He gave him like an actual 10, and then the guy convinced him that he handed him a 50. So then he gave him like a shit ton of change, like over $40 in change. He caught him, and then they had to call the police and all that kind of shit. And
Jeez.
the guy got away, and he was just doing that to everyone at that plaza. So some people are fucking good at what they do.
They tried to do that to me, but he was like, I gave you a 50. I'm like, dumbass, like, I have the 20 on top of the register. I never put it in the till. Like, it's still
that's how you do it.
I'm like, I'm looking, I never took my eyes off
I
of
guess
it.
that's why, because I kind of like more or less caught on to that too when I would like cashier. I would always announce out of 100
Yeah.
to them, and then they'll usually just like nod or whatever. And I'm making a point to look at this dollar, put it in, and then like take out all the appropriate change. And if they ever tried, no one ever did try to fight it, but if they did, I'd be like, no.
I even
Also,
count
there was
it, yeah.
like cameras right above the register.
You gotta be
so.
ballsy though if you claim that you gave him a 50, because there's no slot for 50s. Those always go under the register. So if there's nothing under there, you can't be like, but I gave you one.
There was one time where this guy gave me 100, and I think his change was maybe like 86 something. So he didn't make a big purchase, but he paid with 100. And then he gave me the 100, and he's like, oh, I'll give you these singles if you just like even all that out so that I don't get like smaller bills and change. And I'm over here, I'm like, fuck, I hate math. I hate these situations. I'm pretty sure I gave him the wrong amount of change. Like, I'm pretty sure I gave him more. And that's probably what he was trying to get out of me, because he looked like a swindler too.
He came in with like a big chain wallet and like a feather in his hat.
But I'm pretty sure I got bamboozled. But no one ever said like, oh, this register was short.
But it probably was.
But it probably was.
A little off topic. Because I was a supervisor, I was training a lot of like people who like really couldn't work anywhere else other than fast food, like teenagers, I guess. And I guess obviously they didn't give a shit about their job, but there'd always be like the total would come out to like $7.28, and then they'd give them like a $10 and then like 3 cents. And then they would sit there just completely like they started freaking out. I'm like, dude, count up. Like, it's not hard math.
Yeah,
Just count up.
I love seeing that when that would happen to me. I was good with it though, like because I was a manager, so of course I dealt with a lot of money, so I was fine with the situation, and I'd prefer them give me the change
Exactly.
so I can give them regular change. I
Yeah.
hated giving like 86 cents.
Like the nickels and the pennies. I'm like, dude, like if they give you like enough change where you can give them like some quarters,
Yeah.
as change, like
That's perfect.
They do it all the time because they're smart. They know math. So like, hey, like,
Yeah,
it's a smooth transaction. But these people like would see that and they would be like, what is this? Like,
Yeah,
why are you giving me
I
this?
literally
3 pennies?
when I used to deal with cash, I would give people the change to get like bigger change back.
Yeah.
And all the time, I would give them the money, and they would look at me. And one time, a guy gave me an extra $10 because he couldn't figure it out.
I think the worst is like when I do that, like whenever like I give them a couple extra singles to get like a 10 and a 5 back from a 20, they look at me like I'm the dumbass. Like, what are you doing, stupid?
Yeah, I've had people hand me money back. I'm like, that's not what I mean, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll hand me the change that I'm trying to make back to me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, we have like 10 minutes. Should we do another story?
Let me get into this one. It's really short.
And I also have a short one too.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'll try and get this out in like.
If we go a little over, that's fine too.
Okay, so guy accidentally shot himself trying to kill a cockroach. I don't
Dude,
know.
we get fucking big beetles in this room. In the studio gets giant beetles.
Such a large beetle that I cannot crush it because I've kicked one on accident and it makes like a noise, like when its shell hits the floor. And so what I do is I just find any lid to any like product I have, I tape it to the floor and I leave it for Omar to when he gets home at 3:30. That beetle's still there. I'm like, you fucking deal with it.
Yeah, a few times I've gotten home, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I overturn it and there's a fucking giant beetle in it.
Because I have pictures.
One time I fucked one up though. I like before I killed it, I played with it a little bit because it was on the ground. So I taped it down just so it wouldn't go anywhere because the tape was there.
These beetles are fucking big.
They're
dude.
huge. So I taped one down and I'm like, I want to see how strong the pinchers are. So I grabbed a Q-tip and I put it like in its mouth, and it pulled the whole cotton off of the stick. I'm like, wow, all right.
These boys don't play, man.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck they're coming from.
Yeah.
They are not welcome in this home.
You just have to tell them like ghosts.
I really like it.
You gotta exorcise.
Growing up in my parents' house, we never ever had a single cockroach ever. We always had like ants every now and then in the summer, but we always had like those little centipedes.
Oh, yeah.
I remember like a lot growing up. We spent a lot of time in our basement because that's where like the big TV was. That's where we did like all the sleepovers. Every time people come over and brought their like games, we do like the System Link in the basement. And every night, like we'd wake up and just find one crawling around, and I'm like,
Yeah, I've never had cockroaches at my house, but we get a lot of ants in this one, so we gotta kill a bunch of ants.
I've had moving into places, I've seen like a roach, like crawling up the bathroom wall, and we put a stop to that shit immediately. But I remember one time our neighbors got evicted because they never paid their rent. They had like 20 million people living in this house. Mm-hmm. And it was just weird. They got evicted. Whoever owned that house had to just clean out all their shit that they left. Mm-hmm. And it was all like furniture, bed frames, dressers that looked like they were in usable condition. But we also found out that they had like centipedes, some sort of like vermin,
gross.
like mice.
Uh-huh.
They also had roaches. So all the furniture had like
just roaches.
Parasites and bugs.
Ew.
And people, like, you could see, I'd see people at night coming by, like, on their pickup trucks, like, oh, here's this nice dresser, toss it into my truck.
Oh, man, they just fucked their house up.
Fuck their house up. Because they had to do, like, they had to rip out carpeting because their house was so disgusting.
That's nasty.
That's nasty. I'm such a clean freak that, like, that's a horrible situation to me. Mm-hmm. Like, one of my favorite things to do is clean.
So basically, this guy said the same thing. Like, he's like, I'm gonna put a stop to this cockroach. So
Let me get my fucking gun.
Yeah. So the 50-year-old told police that he tried to kill the cockroach by throwing a shoe at it. The 50-year-old that we're talking about is wheelchair bound. So let that sink in.
Wait, so why does?
So he's in a wheelchair.
So why does he need shoes?
Exactly. He doesn't need. There's no reason why he should need a shoe. But he had one, and he threw it at the cockroach, and he didn't realize that inside of his shoe, that's where he kept his loaded revolver.
Everyone keeps their guns.
I guess you wouldn't feel it if you're in a wheelchair that you have your gun in there, right? You just have to remember that it's there.
Damn.
So the gun fell out as he threw the shoe, and it fired, hitting this guy in the foot. So whether he felt it or not,
I bet he felt that shit. No, I bet he felt that shit.
he probably just felt like a little like nick on his foot, and he's like, "Man, this is a big ass cockroach." But no, he got shot. He shot himself.
Oh my fucking god!
And the police are still trying to. Well, at the time when this story came out, the police are still trying to corroborate this man's story. And the lesson basically here is: do not use a gun to kill a bug, and don't keep the gun in your shoe. Is it wrong to ask if the cockroach survived? That's basically how the article ends.
Yeah, I wonder if he hit it. Did he actually hit
with the shoe?
With the shoe?
It's not going to kill it. Do you know how much you need to kill a
state?
cockroach?
Texas.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it was Texas.
They're strong bugs.
Yeah.
Cockroaches are going to outlive everyone else.
Because did you know?
Detroit, Michigan.
Ah, that's great.
Nasty.
Because did you know that, like, in most parts of the world, unless really the only place in the United States to where a cockroach feels the need to fly is in Florida, because it's so humid that they're like, I'm gonna fucking fly here. But like, if we saw a cockroach here, they can fly, but they choose not to.
Only in Florida they fly?
Only in places where it's hot
That's
and
creepy.
sticky. So fuck that place. Fuck roaches.
Alex, you're the only one that has some... You have a gun license.
Yeah, I do.
Can you break this situation down for us a
I
little
got
bit?
one too.
Oh, you got one too?
Yeah, I got my Florida card. I just don't have a gun.
Yeah, no, I need to go buy a gun.
We go to Farm King.
Yeah.
I almost bought a gun there while we were down there.
Yeah, they look really nice. Well, they look like toys.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
looking at them, they look like toys.
These
Yeah.
like fucking assault rifles. I'm like, no, these can't be
They
real.
wonder
were
they
very
shoot
big
kids.
assault rifles, and they had like the big Texas like revolvers that were bigger than my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And they were all
No,
behind
no.
like this
Yeah.
dainty glass. And I'm
With
like,
the
boy.
skinniest motherfucker behind it.
Right.
like this glass and this motherfucker's not gonna stop me from robbing this place.
Farm King in Macomb, Illinois.
Love that.
Go get your guns there.
Yeah, and you can also see Shrek on a horse there.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's jump into another news story. We got time for like one more.
Yeah, this one's like super short. I just thought it was really funny. There's literally only 3 paragraphs.
Okay.
Not even complete paragraphs. I guess the news story like title says it all, but woman driving toy truck pulled over, arrested for public intoxication.
Now, was this the
It's
same
not
girl who was driving the toy truck to begin with because she got a DUI?
It does not see. It doesn't even.
It was.
say
It
that
wasn't a
much.
Barbie truck, was it?
Let's see. There's a video.
Oh my
Let me
god,
see.
that dude is on a public road. No,
Oh,
this is.
shit.
It's like a fucking little Hummer.
Yeah, it's a little hover.
I saw one of a girl who, it was like on a college city. She got arrested because she was on a little scooter. Like, I'm talking like a little scooter. Like a razor
like
scooter.
a razor scooter?
Yeah, while she was drunk, she's like, I'm making the responsible choice to not drive, and now you're arresting me.
I think if you're drunk, you're definitely allowed to ride a scooter. A bike, maybe not, but a scooter, you're fine. The only thing you're gonna hurt if you're drunk on a scooter is your fucking ankles.
But they could go into traffic, too.
Yeah.
Or fall into traffic.
So many
That's
incidents.
okay.
But yeah, she was 25 years old, driving the car. She was a whole mile away from her house when she got arrested.
Damn, how far does that little
Yeah,
thing go?
don't those
These
go
are
on like
pretty-
batteries?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Especially with the weight on it?
The picture that you're showing, she absolutely should have gotten arrested for that.
yeah,
Because the one that I'm talking about, she was driving like a little pink Barbie Jeep, but she had gotten a DUI, like, I guess the previous week before, so she got her license taken away. So she was driving on the sidewalk, and she parked the Jeep in the school parking lot.
that's funny.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not going to jail.
The thing is, I'm okay with that because if you don't need a license to drive it, you shouldn't get a DUI. Like, it
Fair enough.
doesn't matter.
Because you can get a DUI on a tractor, because I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Not seen it, but I've read about, like, a guy driving his tractor home because he couldn't drive.
I
but
guess
he had
maybe
a
just
DUI.
anything with wheels.
Anything
That's
motorized.
that's fucked though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if a kid can drive it and you don't need a license, I don't think you should get pulled over for a DUI.
But the kid's also not drinking.
You don't know that, Alan.
Maybe.
You want to know some shit? Why can't you ride your fucking bike on a sidewalk?
Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
What do you mean you can't?
Like an adult.
As an adult, you can't ride your bike on a sidewalk,
I'm gonna fucking do that anyways.
right?
Wait,
I'm
you
not gonna get
can't?
hit.
No. It's. I remember reading that in my Rules of the
Rules
Road
Oh my
20.
Are you
God.
serious?
20 yeah, like it's technically a vehicle, so it needs to be on the street.
I feel really bad because, like, I never, like, cursed anyone out, but I always see adults, like, riding on the
Yeah,
street,
fuck
and
'em.
I'm like, dude, what,
Get the
the
fuck out of the
sidewalk
way.
is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you
They're
doing
technically
on the
not
road?
allowed to.
Wow.
Which is fucked up because I'm
Very
gonna hit
fucked up.
one.
At least like make a fucking bike lane. I understand, like, no, you know, who the fuck thinks of that, but still. Also, there's this one
Yeah,
guy that
they
I
should-
see.
That's the thing. If there's no bike lane, you should be able to ride on the sidewalk. If there's a bike lane, then ride on the bike lane.
And always go
Fuck the
against
government.
traffic.
Fuck the government.
Go against traffic, not with it. Trust me.
But they go.
It's
But they
better.
don't do that.
No, they don't.
Because it's illegal to
annoying.
do that. Isn't that fucking stupid?
They literally tell you to go at traffic.
As a
Makes it easier
kid,
to-
when you're learning to ride a bike, they say, "Don't go in the street."
And then now, get the fuck on
Yeah,
the street.
it's just like
Fuck off the
don't get in
sidewalk.
strangers' cars, and now all we do is get in strangers' cars.
Uber.
Yeah,
But fuck cyclists, though.
Yeah, true that. Especially the ones with, like, the full, like, one piece and the...
The garb.
That,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
handles kind of like
They look like
curve,
horns,
whatever.
yeah.
And they go
Yeah.
like this.
Like the tryhards and the sweaties, yeah.
Like
the ones that
when they
don't call it biking, they call it cycling.
the ones that who, when they like stand up a little bit, you can see the padding on their shorts.
Yeah,
Fuck them. Fuck them all.
I think that's a good place to. I think that's a
Fuck
good place.
cyclists.
Yeah, that's a good place to end the story. Hope you guys had a good bike ride. My name's
to all our bicyclists out there.
Shout out to all the bicyclists.
yeah. Shout out to all the pair. My name's Omar. You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at _thesharkboy.
He just bought a car.
I just bought a fucking car.
Oh yeah, don't hit any cyclists
I'm about
in
to.
that new car. You can find me on Instagram at AlanCF1 and on Twitter under Wizards Only Fools. There you go.
Nice. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at really_cool.
The O's are zeros.
Yeah.
Or flat earths.
Fuck Ivan.
I miss that boy.
Where are you giving speeches nowadays, Alex?
You can find me on Twitter at ArsonistAlex, giving the best fishing tips ever. If you should either bass or pass.
All right. We'll see you guys next week at the Spit Bucket.
This podcast is still fucking around.
Yeah. Episode 40. Thanks for joining us for 40 episodes, guys.
Hey, shout out to Tony. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, hope you're okay in Africa, Tony.
I hear there's no cilantro there.
All right.
Yikes.
Bye.
Bye. I forgot to mention how I woke up from a nap today and I was crying.